Y'all finna wait a little bit. Let me wait a little bit though, so I can do the little shit that it do. It always do this matrix pixel on the screen shit. I'm gonna let it do that shit. I've been noticing that shit. I'm gonna let it do that before I talk my shit. Let me wait a little bit. I'm waiting. Yeah. What's up with y'all? It's your boy P. Getting at y'all right fast with another pro-black narrative for this Milwaukee cop that was killed today. His name is Michael Mikowski, allegedly killed by a suspect. Let me see if I can get any information on the suspect. While I'm going through a few screens here, I just want to say, man, I went on Twitter. Okay, they got his name, Jonathan Copeland Jr. I want to just say, I went on Twitter a couple of hours after this was posted up. Tariq Nasheed, a guy by the name of Tariq Nasheed, we know Tariq, y'all. He posted this up, right? And I read it. It just says Milwaukee police officer Michael Mikowski was shot and killed yesterday by an allegedly mentally ill lone wolf named Jonathan Copeland Jr. The suspect is in custody. So I read that. And I saw that this Jonathan Copeland Jr. fellow was black. And this Michael Mikowski fellow, he's not black. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get into the comments. Let me get to bombing the comments with facts on facts on facts because I know the trolls is coming. And I like to kind of head these trolls off at the pass. I like to kind of come around to meet them before they even try to come around to fuck with us. So I responded to the tweet, I guess pretty early, or what I thought was super early, right? Anyway, so I'm like, look, when I think of Milwaukee, I think of Sheriff Duncan Clark. He was the dude that, no, I said Duncan Clark, spelled Coon Clark, right? And y'all know he's the dude that was on some old when he becomes the assistant, or he was gonna go for this position, I think with Trump, some shit in the cabinet or some one of his offices. I don't know. The assistant Homeland Security, some bullshit like that. He was gonna be that guy, some shit like that, right? He was the one talking all of this. Oh, citizens should be treated as combatants, and police and whoever should be able to just grab them, snatch them up, do what they want to do with them, and they should be able to be detained indefinitely. That's the part that I remember. Like word for word is the detained indefinitely. Like what? Who says bullshit like that? So he's that motherfucker. When I think of Milwaukee, that's the motherfucker they had as sheriff that they put in a seat, right, to determine what go on over your black ass life. I'm just dropping shit like that. I'm like, when I think of Milwaukee, I think of Dondre Hamilton. I think of Dante Shannon. I'm just dropping names, like, you know what I mean? People who've got done wrong by the police. And I just ended it like, so I have no tears for the Milwaukee police or some shit like that. And then I put this gif of the cats scratching like doing DJ work, like scratching and shit, DJs and shit. Talking about less party, got a less party sign. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But let me just go around and just kind of find trolls. After that, I was like, all right, I did my thing on Tariq's comment. But I said, let me go around and just find motherfuckers that I know is out there trolling and talking shit. So I just keyed it in the search, and you see, you know, your usual suspects. Oh, law enforcement was taken out by a thug. So I'm like, all right, taken out by a thug, huh? Word. Uh, Janine Tracy, Milwaukee police get no tears from me. Hashtag Janine Tracy. She ain't a hashtag, but I mean, come on, police punched her, pulled her out of her car at a traffic stop. Who do shit like that? But a racist ass police force. Um, the brother James Perry, you know what I mean, the epileptic brother who had an epileptic event, and I guess he had to go to the hospital. Then they got him in custody. He died in custody of the police. And I mean, I'm just going through like, man, I mean, I'm just finding trolls and I'm just trolling them back. You know what I mean? Then I go back to Tariq's thread because people just hit me up with a like on the thread. I was like, okay, so who liked me on the thread? I like to just check it out and see who's who, what is what. And the first time I looked at the thread, I didn't read anything. I just put my comment on and I just started just finding trolls to bomb on, like, you know what I mean? But then I look in the thread and my people are in the thread talking sense. You heard comments like, you read stuff like, we don't know if he had a mental episode at this time. We should, this needs to be looked into. He feared for his life. These are things that must be considered in this issue. You know what I mean? This is in my mind. This is what must be considered. I mean, he was a lone wolf. This must be considered. Stuff like, somebody posted up a family picture like he's a loving guy. Obviously, something went awry with his mental illness issue, and this needs to be looked at and considered, right? This is the type of current that needs to be considered in a case like this. Period. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, of course, you had other comments, man. Some dude had the DJ Khaled holding a big champagne bottle, pouring in the shitty in the pool, pouring this big thing of champagne up, like celebrating and shit. I'm like, yeah, there's more of my speed, more of the celebratory speed. That's what that's about. But of course, so the pro-black narrative, what we're talking about today is, of course, we must drop the facts that, look, this is the record of the Milwaukee police force. They have a horrible record with dealing with black people, period. They're a very segregated area, very segregated city. So out of segregation in cities, I grew up in one, and I grew up in a segregated part of my city. So I'm telling you how it feels. There is no commensurable or matching respect for the people in areas where police have to police. You know what I mean? When it's a segregated sort of situation. So that's the pro-black narrative that I wanted to touch on today. And again, for our brother, let's get his name up here again. Jonathan, I had it up here. Jonathan Copeland Jr., right? This is a lone wolf, mentally ill man who needs to have considerations made for his mental illness. And I'm going to get at y'all.